Hello.
Happy lunchtime, everyone.
Happy Friday.
Just after lunchtime.
Yeah.
We have got
Cheers. The biggest
drinks
ever known to man. I honestly did not realise how big they were going to give this. I forgot what it was called.
Sugar.
Costa, isn't it? They're huge. I just normally just say large, and I was like, Jesus, large. I didn't mean this.
Well, thank you.
Here we go.
I'm very excited about it.
I'm going to be bouncing off the walls.
Treat.
I got a mocha because you made me want a hot chocolate. So
Is that
I
your
did
compromise, was it?
half and half because I didn't get any sleep last night. So I was like, coffee, yes, please. Half and half compromise. It's all about good balance.
This is turning pain into power. No sleep equals big coffee.
Yes.
Power. Taking it back.
Woo! Don't take my advice, please. It's great, isn't it? You give the best advice, but taking it ourselves and...
Oh, that's a whole other topic.
Queen of self-sabotage, and you're like, yes, who's the problem?
Don't give yourself that title.
Oh, all right.
You don't want that name badge, do you?
No, not.
Queen of
Do you know what? Yeah, real and authentic.
Yeah.
And I was just saying to Luke, driving here, I could have been stressing, being like, oh no, I could have got up earlier and done all this, and I'm going to be a bit later than expected. Or I'm going to get there when I get there, play the music, have a sing-song. I had to smile and a laugh, a good chat with a few people in Costa because I was just being in the moment rather than rushing off to this next thing.
Yeah, we're slightly going off tangent, but
I know,
we always do. It's fine.
We do.
When I teach yoga, people that have been coming to yoga for me for a long time, they kind of anticipate what's coming next, and I can see them. So I'm like, I don't know, rock side to side, and then the next thing would be kind of open your knees wide and do some hip circles, right? So as I'm rocking side to side, you can see the person that's been here a while then moving into the next part and doing the hips,
Yeah.
And I'm like, stop living in the future.
Interesting.
Be in the moment, enjoy what you've got. Don't rush to the next thing. Just make the most of this rocking side to side before you move into the next part.
Yeah. I love that. It's so true because we all do it. And even for me, I've probably done that in yoga sessions before and you don't even realise. Someone else is spotting it, but we're not conscious about it at all.
I remember I used to do it because I went to the same yoga teacher for 10 years. So of course, again, I knew what was coming next. And I used to do the exact same thing. And now I'm observing it from a teacher's perspective. I'm like, slow down.
Yeah, so I love getting off topic with you, but...
I know, yeah. Back to turning pain into power.
Turning pain into power.
So why... Because originally we started talking about, we could talk about shame. And then Hayley said, why don't we just elaborate on that a little bit? So how did you come to that conclusion of pain into power?
Because I feel like it's been quite big in my life. And I know that it will help others as well. Because we all go through pain. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. And I love that saying. Because it's true. We're going to go through shit in life. But it's what we do with it and our perspective on it. It's the perspective of what we're labelling it as. Or how it should look like. And not being in the present moment with everything that's flowing through. Knowing that there's going to be pain, there's going to be bad stuff, there's going to be highs. But if we're just... It is as it is. And we take away all our judgment to it and we just allow ourselves to just go through this heaviness in the best way we know how. That is how we turn pain into power.
The end. See you next time. Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Yeah, so if I can just give an example from my life, and most of you probably know this anyway. When my dad was diagnosed with motor neuron disease in end of 2010, I was working a happy corporate career. Happy, use that term loosely, thought I was happy. But it was in that moment, and then kind of his subsequent illness for 2 years before he died, that I thought, what the fuck am I doing? This is really painful, and this is horrible and horrendous, and here I am, slogging away, turning up with a smile on my face. I remember someone saying to me, Luke, how are you coping so well? And this person was going through a bereavement themselves. And, she was falling apart every day and having counselling. And she's like, Luke, how are you doing so well? I've been speaking to my counsellor about you. I don't know how you're just doing it, how you're coping. And I was like, this is interesting. So I don't feel like I'm coping. Obviously, I'm putting on a face, and actually, I would say that the fact that you are going to counselling and addressing your issues and expressing your emotions would suggest to me that you're doing really well.
Yeah.
So it was a really interesting thing, and I thought, I mean, just that whole period of time was a real shift in my life. I'm like, actually, I have control of this. I don't have to do this thing that I think I want but I don't want, and I don't have to put up with people's bullshit, and I don't have to grieve in the same way as another person either. But all of that was about expectation shedding. I think that, it's an expectation that you crack on, you put a brave face on. It's like the classic stiff upper lip thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that actually was just an expectation. I didn't need to do that. I didn't need to show up to work. I didn't need to do any of the things that I was doing. And I think for me, that's how I turned, in one instance, I've turned pain into power, because I've actually just stopped and looked at myself and gone, but why?
It's come back to the reflection thing as well, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because we can just carry on and on and keep going and keep going.
You just end up in cycles, don't you?
You do, yeah, until you just stop and pause for a moment. Just be like, what do I need the most right now, actually? What's not working?
So I think that's it, isn't it? It's the stopping and pausing. Because I don't think we do that. I think we just get on that treadmill and just keep going. And that's exactly what I was doing back in this time.
That's
I was
a
on that
response,
treadmill.
isn't it?
Yeah. It is. It's a distraction response.
Yeah. I did it. Another master, something that I've mastered as well, the queen of this too, but gotten a lot better. I mean, in Sydney, I was working 3 jobs and running a business, and then when I wasn't doing that, I was doing everything else that I could think of, all the circles, all the healing, thinking this is great because I'm doing all this fire dancing and I was like,
I love your fire dancing.
Thank you.
I was watching a fire hula hoop on Facebook the other day. Very cool.
Oh my God, it's the power you feel when you just hear the fire burning. It's like nothing I ever experienced. It's so magical to work with this energy, and I feel blessed because I feel like we're given gifts in life, and I wouldn't be able to work with this unless the fire consciousness, I'm getting woo-woo now, said like, okay, we give you permission to come and work with us now, because it's so powerful in transmuting energies. When we had a bit of a argument, as families do, on holiday, oh my God, it's been nearly 10 years since we've all been away.
Yeah, that sounds scrumptious just in...
But I know, but it was also magical.
Yeah.
But just after that night, I was like, just felt called. Light the fire, do the fire hula hoop. I pray with it, I set intentions to work with it and keep me safe and protected.
You say it sounds woo-woo, but fire is an element.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole element. It's literally one of the things that is part of why we exist.
I love it.
So
get deep with me, Luke.
It's not that
I love
woo, is
it. Thank you for validating me. I do. Sometimes I am like, oh no, I'm going too woo-woo, but here you go. No, but it's nice to look at it like that.
It's just the next step of hugging a tree, right?
Yeah. And I suppose it's because I was taught this one rigid way of like, that's mental, and I used to see it as, if I saw someone hugging a tree 5 years ago, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Now I'm putting my forehead on trees, Luke. We met a bloke in Glasgow.
She's gone. She snorted.
Oh, stop. Oh, no, seriously, it's so funny to think about that. Yeah, right, I've got to hold back the tears. We met a bloke in the groundskeeper in Glastonbury, and he did the copper dowsing rods, took us to all the trees, and he taught us to put our forehead on the trees, and it's how we transfer energy as conduits. And he goes to the stones, the hedge end? No, not hedge end. Stonehenge.
Not hedge end.
Hedge end? What am I on about?
Different place.
Stonehenge, and then transfers all the information, wisdom, energy, and that's what the trees tell him to do, apparently.
Can you get close enough to Stonehenge to do that?
On one day of the year, apparently.
Oh,
you're allowed to touch them, yeah.
Is that a solstice?
Potentially, I'm not sure.
Interesting.
But it was very interesting because it took us to all the ancestral trees, the grandfather, the grandmother tree, all in the ancestral line, which a lot of it goes over my head at times as well, and I'm trying to take all this information in. But he just said, one thing that he said was, just watch out for your dreams. Try see what comes up. And the next day, I had the most vivid, woke up, had the most vivid dream of just someone pouring white wine. And normally I don't see it like that. I'm like trying to clutch on to remember, but it was so clear when I woke up. Looked it up and it was like, you are healing the ancestral line. I was like, next day, every day since, put my head on trees.
Interesting.
But when people are around, I'm still a bit like, are they judging me?
So let them.
And then the tree helps me because it's like, and what? Let me take that from you. I'm like, oh, thanks, friend. And it says, like, they're our friends. They are.
I quite often do meditations with trees.
Yeah.
Where, we go to the tree, we touch the tree, we think about its wisdom, all of its rings, how many years it's been here, all of the life that it supports, the oxygen that it creates, the nests for the birds.
I love that.
Like the seasons and eras that it's seen, like war, death, birth, everything. And it's quite a good meditation to do.
I love that. I want to do that with you one day.
Yeah, I like it.
Because you look at a tree, the huge ones and the ones that are like 400 years old or whatever, and you think, the stuff you have seen. Share with me. I want to see it too. Imagine if you could click your fingers and just go back to any time in the past. I know, a bit of a random question, but where would you go?
Oh, do you know, someone once said to me, and not actually that long ago, if you could go back and live in any era of the past, when would you go back and live? And I was like, now.
I love that. That's a mic drop moment.
I wouldn't go back. Also, as, a homosexual person that's got a husband and 2 children.
Very true.
I probably wouldn't have been welcomed in a lot of places.
No.
A lot of eras. Maybe if I went right back to the ancient Greeks when it was all a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I would have been burnt at the stake for being a witch or drowned or something. So, yeah, now it's good. I didn't actually think of that when someone asked me that. Yeah, that's I like that. Thank you for planting that seed.
We're the most evolved we've ever been. That doesn't mean we're the smartest. Let's not get that mixed up. There's a lot of things we do that are not smart.
I've banished my ego. Now I'm better than everyone else.
Exactly.
I saw that on a picture the other day on Instagram.
It's a great meme.
Brilliant.
I like that. Yeah, so we're way off topic again, but that's okay. Let's rein it back in.
I know.
Pain into power.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, just this kind of conversation is a classic pain into power for me, because I only discovered all of this stuff through pain, and I'm probably the same for you.
Yeah.
Most people that kind of, let's say, go into woo-woo world.
Yeah, the alternative therapies.
But alternative, but also original, traditional.
Yeah, very actually.
Not actually alternative, only modern day alternative.
Original, I like original
Original,
better.
yeah. Do so through pain or challenge or trauma or whatever. And I think that if I hadn't have had those experiences, I wouldn't be here talking about this stuff, being open-minded enough, to hug a tree or pray to fire or whatever. And
have the understanding to help other people through it too.
Yeah. But I think people in this, certainly, I can actually categorically say that 100% of people that I've met through the things that I do and the things that we do all have a story.
Yeah.
I don't think any of them have come to it just, because it's a fad or whatever. I think everyone has a story. Certainly the people I've met. What do you think the same?
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I think a lot of people have awakened through suffering as well. I know that's what was a lot of what brought on my awakening. And things have to change.
Awakening's interesting for me. It's a word that's used a lot, waking people up or being woke or I hate wokeism.
Wake up, sheeple.
And for me, I don't know if I found a word that I resonate with
actually.
In that. Even the sheeple thing, I totally get it, but also I find it really
so
disrespectful.
patronising and rude. And who are you to tell people to wake up? Imagine if someone came in your house at night at 3 a.m, slapped you around the face and said, wake up, I'm not ready yet, that's not my path. And it's not for you to tell me that's my path and try and fix me. Go and look in the mirror first.
I think
There's me, I'm having a rant
like
now.
a snap and a head bob there.
Yeah, but I was that person. I was doing it, so I'm not judging in the slightest.
I was just
but it
about
does
to
trigger.
say. I was just about to say that often this seems to be a pattern that I've noticed. You kind of have a trauma or something going on in your life. You expand your mind to, oh, there could be more, or I could heal, or I could do things differently or better, or I could self-reflect, whatever. And then you go, wow, everybody else must do this too.
Yeah. Why are you not doing this? This is amazing.
And then you literally start shaking the people you
do.
love. Like, why don't you listen to me? Why don't you believe it?
Yeah.
Why can't you see it? And then you get to the point where we are, and you're like, oh, whatever, they're not ready. I need to stop.
Acceptance.
I need to just stop nagging people because they're not ready yet.
And it's wasted energy. Talk to the people who are going to be receptive to it and who want that. Not the brick walls that aren't ready for it. Plant the seeds,
It was exactly, you took the words out of my head. I was just going to say, sow the seeds, and when they're ready. But you know, I'm classic for that. Everyone that I know and love, I'm like, you must. And now I'm just just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah.
Give me a call.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. It's great.
Yeah, but again, turning pain into power. But there's a process, isn't there? Like it's not just as simple as the sentence.
There's so much to it.
It's so big, but you have to get to that point where you're aware enough and comfortable enough not to then try and fix everyone else.
Yeah. And then it's, what do we do with that pain? You know we've got this pain and it's running there in the background, or it's been numbed and pushed down, or something triggers a bit of trauma, or an old wound comes up. We know something's there, but what do we actually do with it when it comes up? That's the stuff I'm interested in, because many of us, we just go into that old conditioning and program. We do what we know, right? Which are the things that aren't working. And then we're in this victim mindset of, oh, well, I've tried all these things, I can't do it. But if we believe we can't do it, self-fulfilling prophecy will be what shows up.
Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're probably right.
Yeah, you'll prove that right. So if we believe we can do it, we'll start then seeing solutions in different ways, or we'll meet people that give us a different perspective, or whatever it may be. But when we're truly ready, when the student's ready, the teacher will appear. And whatever that might be, in whatever way, in a human form or nature, whatever it is.
God, we're like walking quotes us today, aren't we?
I know, we are. I love the quotes. The quotes
me too.
The
they hit home. They're really good. They're the seeds that you need to sow.
Yeah.
I also have noticed, and let me know what you think, a lot of people go through stuff, discover this stuff, take a journey and try and help people because they then think it's their duty to help people. And I often, when I work with people through human design as an example, if I look into their charts deep enough, I can actually see whether they have a personal karma or a transpersonal karma, meaning whether they are actually meant to help people with this, or whether they're supposed to go through their own growth for their own, elevation.
Are you doing another one of them?
Yeah.
Human design. Put me on.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah, it's the date's written over there. I can't remember what it is. It's over there on the board. I'll post that somewhere later.
So interesting.
It's coming up. I think it's in June. But yeah, so actually, I don't. I wonder if it comes from a sense of guilt. I know from myself, I'm like, oh my God, I've been such an unaware, unkind person for so many years, and I've just realised and woken up from this. So I must then go and help people to renew my karma.
And you can see that in someone's human design chart.
Yeah, it's actually
That's
really
fantastic.
easy. It's a kind of a surface level, quite easy thing to see.
Is it? I feel sometimes I feel like it's too overcomplicated. I can't do this. It's too much.
Do you know what? Human design's dead easy.
Is it really?
Astrology is like woo, but human design dead easy.
Okay.
It's very prescriptive, which is nice. It's very easy to interpret.
Very interesting.
It's not about my interpretation of it. It's quite prescriptive. So what does this mean when you look it up?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you get people. I know that I have a transpersonal karma, so meaning that I am here to help, uplift, and grow others. Right, through my own experiences, through my own journeys, through my own teachings and learnings. but then to transmute that to others to help support us, because that's my karma.
Okay.
So I often see people that are so desperately trying to help others that they aren't actually helping themselves at all. There's a distraction from helping themselves. And actually they don't feel fulfilled or whole or anything, because actually it's not in their karma to be trying to then fix others. It's their karma to be looking only at themselves and to make that growth and elevation in their life. So I always think, you know, how do you turn pain into power again? Understanding what the power is. Like, where is the superpower in it? Like, you know, it doesn't, it's not the same for everyone. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't mean that your power means you need to go and be a superhero and like fix the whole world. Yeah. You know, it might
carry the whole world on your shoulders, thinking that you've got to fix it all.
Right, because it's just another ego thing, really. So what actually, if your power is to heal yourself enough that other people love you, get you, understand you, want to be around you, you know, what if that's...
It lifts them up.
Yeah, but it's like the classic generator thing. I'm sorry, we're going off on a tangent, human design, but a generator, clues in the title, they're here to generate. So if you think about like a lighthouse and that light bulb like shining on everything as it spins around, it's the shining light where people need it, right? But the light bulb is really only in its tower for itself. It's only one thing. It's looking after itself. It doesn't go out there and help the people in the boats. It just shines the light so that other people, you know.
I love that.
So that's it. It's like, you know, actually, if I'm my 100% my whole self, and if I have a personal karma, then as long as I'm shining my light, everything else will fall into place. I don't actively have to do anything. Yeah. It's hard having
or be anyone.
No.
Like, we think we need to do these things and have this purpose and mission. But it popped in the other day, and I was only talking about this with a friend the other day. I think it was a client actually, and I was like, all you have to do is be you. We don't, get rid of all the other stuff, all the baggage, all the, like just be you. And that's why I feel like we're taught putting ourselves first is selfish. I feel like that's imprinted at a young age, because then it's so unnatural to rewire that, because that's where the power is. When we believe in ourselves and we're working with ourselves and cultivating self-acceptance and love, every area in your life improves, everything. Nothing outside of us needs to change. When we change inwardly, our external reality changes, because we're shifting vibrations. And it was a post I wrote yesterday when I was just full of love, looking at my niece, of living in that heart space and creating those realities. So some people can live in hell on earth, but some people can live in heaven, and it's still the same earth, but it's just different frequencies. And we decide that we get to choose it. I know at times we tell ourselves, I wouldn't manifest this reality, why would I choose that to happen to me?
But that's just your conscious mind telling you, why would you choose that? I was talking about this morning. You know, we don't talk enough about subconscious mind, and it's not even something that's really studied. I guess I don't know how you would study it. There are people that have studied it, but I mean, even in, like, for me, massively, like in childcare or health or, you know, whatever, I just think, you know, professionals in this world need to understand the subconscious mind, because I don't remember the statistic, but it's something like for every one conscious thought that you have 250 subconscious thoughts.
Bloody Nora.
250,000, sorry. No, sorry, I totally missed it.
Rewind, I'll wait for live.
I'll have to look it up. But
we'll have to edit the Stonehenge part.
And the hedge end bit.
And that bit,
no, it's something like, it's hundreds of thousands, right?
Okay.
So one subconscious thought, one conscious thought, oh crap. What was in
and
this?
That's all, folks.
What was in this? Other coffee shops are available. Right, okay, anyway.
Carry on, take a breath.
So we have lots of subconscious thoughts. I don't even know what we were talking about before that. It was relevant, and now I've lost it. What were we talking about? I don't know. It's gone. She's gone. She's gone, folks. Sorry. This is what happens when you're sleep deprived and have a mocha. It's a bidet.
It's very true.
I don't even know what we were talking about. It's totally gone.
I do it all the time though.
That's all right.
You're darting because we're getting excited, right?
I know. It's good.
So for everyone,
we have some others. It's a bit hot now. I'm going to have to take my jacket off.
Oh, okay.
No, she's done.
No, I'm good. Oh, I'm good. Ooh, that's the best. That's the best belly laughter.
We like a bit of belly laughing.
But take control now. I don't control because No, I can. No, I'm good. I'm good. Oh, that's the best. So for one, should we carry on that, or should
no,
we?
let's just
one every
divert from
conscious
that.
thought. You have like a few thousand or something.
And
subconscious
it was relevant
thoughts.
somehow, and we don't know how.
And the subconscious mind takes up 95% of the brain. And I don't know why people's jaws don't hit the floor when they hear that. Because we're like, what? Only 5% of our minds are conscious. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is. So, what do you... Again, with that information, though, like, what do you do with that? If you can't access... The whole point of subconscious is you can't access it, right? You don't know it.
Yeah.
So how do we work with that?
I know. I love it. It's on Superstore. I don't know if you ever watched
I love
it.
Superstore.
He goes,
I love it.
if it was in my subconscious, I think I'd know. I was crying. I had to pause it and wind it back because I found it so funny. What's his name? Glenn. Oh, he's the best. He's the best.
That is a really good show.
So good.
That has the rewatchability of Friends.
Yeah, it does. I love those shows that you can just watch.
That's my go-to. That or Schitt's Creek.
Okay, I did get into that but didn't finish it. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's a go back to
Also
for
good,
me as well, yeah.
Should we just call it quits?
Let's call it a day, shall we? I don't know how long we've been on, but it was an absolute smashing show.
It all went to Hedge End.
Stop it! You know you're trying to give me the giggles now. Oh, well, thank you everyone for tuning in, and I hope you got a laugh out of this as well, because I do remember when you and Katie did one and she lost it. And do you know what, I just needed that. Because laughter is infectious, right? And go with it. When I watch someone else laughing, it brightens my day. So I hope that this brightens your day. I hope that you got some tools and tips out of it. And it's just an honour to be working next to this one as well.
Yeah, and you.
So, and doing this for you guys, this is like only my second or third live on my actual page.
Yeah.
Things are growing, things are getting better. Luke's got some stuff coming up. I've got Ecstatic Dance Tonight, which a few cancellations I had, so there's a couple of spaces up for grabs, and next week's Empowerment Circle. What have you got going on, Luke?
Oh, you put me on the spot now. Some things, stuff.
They get posted.
I have just put on a crafting day. Mm-hmm. So we had a terrarium workshop last weekend. Long story short, there was a group of ladies coming. They had a bereavement, unfortunately. So we've decided to postpone it, and I've moved it to the same day as the soap making workshop.
Okay.
And so now we've got a full crafting day.
Ooh.
So that's the 14th of July. That's very exciting. So we can do natural soap making and terrarium making.
Nice.
Very excited. And the human design workshop that the other day, I can't remember. Put a new retreat on for September.
Oh my God, you've got loads coming up, yeah.
Loads coming up. Emily's starting an astrology course here next week.
That looks good.
Loads of stuff. So check
Loads
it out.
of cool things, yeah.
All right, well, nice to see you. Go pop your head on a tree. And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.